Right, good evening, afternoon, good, wherever you are. How's everybody doing? Great. Time for the raids. Hopefully, as long as queue times are nice and friendly. We'll see. I noticed I had this plugged in yesterday, charging while streaming it, and when it got full, I unplugged it. About 10 minutes later, I was saying it was flat. Which is a common problem with all PlayStation controllers. I had the same problem with my PS4 one, where they don't seem to keep a charge. Great. That's better. Well, I'm in a queue. A decent queue, so servers should be active around this time. They usually are active until about 8 o'clock. Right, so... return to Ivalice. We'll do that one first. And then we'll do Crystal Tower just before Shadowbringers. Don't need to do the Void Arc one. Yeah, should be good. Fresh off their widely acclaimed performance of the Zodiac Brave story in Garlemald, the airborne theatre troupe Prima Vista sets anchor in Kugania with a new story to be told. What brings them to these far lands? Sit back and let them regale you with a tale of the fabled kingdom of Ivalice. Perhaps you will understand. Stay a while. Anyone's on? Alright. So, Kugane. Na, 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 Is he in there alright? My brother's got that disconnecting symbol. Derp. Da 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 da. No, that's fine. Hopefully it'll just kick him out of the game. Stop killing my internet. Dramatis Personae. Titan knows of someone seeking your acquaintance. Welcome, my lord. There's a young maiden here who would speak with you. This. The adventure has arrived. And here he is, the liberator of both Doma and Alamigo in the flesh. I am Lena Murila? We'll go with Murila. Yeah. Correspondent for the Raven. You may recognize me from my expose on the secret lives of homunculi. But enough small talk. It's not for nothing that I've been standing here since yesterday morning on the off chance you'd pass by. No, I'm here because... Actually, it's best you heard it from Alma. I am but an observer. Alma, come, I found him. Is this the adventurer of whom you spoke? Indeed it is. Please, I beg of you, find my father. You are his only hope. Actually, before I continue on, I'm just going to make sure audio and everything's working fine because I've been doing some faffing about trying to get Discord to work. So it turns out Windows and Wavelink don't want to work together on this computer. Don't know why. No app that has its audio source on Windows wants to work. Only things that a Wavelink will capture is the capture card. And Discord itself, but only because I've had to create like Discord's alerts as its own audio source. Any software like Firefox, Discord, things like that, even if I set them to output to like Wavelink voice chat or Wavelink browser, the audio on Elgato Stream is recognizing it. The volume's jumping up and down, and I can hear it. But no matter what I do, Stream can't hear it. No matter what, I've tried for hours and hours. I gave up. The only alternative was to add a separate audio source to Streamlabs directly for Wavelink voice chat for Discord, which listens to it, the source directly, but turning the volume up and down in Wavelink for that source does nothing, because it's... I don't know why. It doesn't adjust the volume. So I have to adjust the volume from Streamlabs. But yeah, can't figure it out for the life of us. I've noticed when I do open Discord, there is 2 audio sources for it in Volume Mixer. I don't know if that's what's causing it. And I've tried uninstalling it, reinstalling it. Can't figure it out. I've just updated Windows and that with a new service pack and updated my graphics, my drivers for my graphics card and everything, and no. Still no joy. Can't figure it out for the life of us. So I've had to settle for now for just adding a source directly into Discord's or into Streamlabs audio mixer for Wavelink voice chat, and have Discord audio output from the app set to that. It doesn't matter if I go into Windows audio mixer and assign it to use Wavelink voice chat from there, it does nothing. So out of curiosity, I thought, right, okay, I'll do the same for Firefox and I'll assign that to Wavelink browser. Same issue, couldn't hear any audio. Yeah, that's got us stumped. Right, let's just quickly check that everything's working fine. Twitch. Push forward. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Now, there is no delay to that. Let's see. Test, test, test. About 2.5 seconds of a delay between me speaking and it actually outputting on the stream. Huh. It's not bad. Back in the day, it used to be like 7 to 10 seconds with all this hardware and software. Right, but we know everything works, so we can crack on. It's alright, Alma. We're attracting unwanted attention. Might I suggest a change of venue? We will await you before the Prima Vista. The theatre barge has a berth at the airship landing. Na, 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 na. Sob. As I said before, I think it better we continue this conversation in the privacy of the young lady's barge. It's not that I don't trust anyone here. It's simply that I don't trust anyone here. Gate guard Mangomo has been instructed to look out for you. In future, speak with him when you wish to gain admission to the docks. Thank you for coming, Jasix. You're probably wondering why I summoned you into an airship. A Garlean one at that. Allow me to explain on the shuttle. The Prima Vista serves as both stage and home to the majestic Imperial Theatre Company. You can keep that dirk in your drawers. What? No one here is a member of the Imperial Army, nor are there any spies with the troop. At least, no known spies. Ask anyone and they will readily attest. The majestic Imperial Theatre Company are the finest practitioners of the dramatic arts to be found anywhere on the 3 great continents, and beyond. They have admirers throughout the Empire and its territories, and even boast a sizable following in Gridania, hence my assignment to their story. There's a little known fact outside Garlemald, at least. But the late emperor was a devoted patron of the arts who supported various theatre troupes to the tune of much coin. Indeed, Solus was so enamored of the majestic players that he ordered the construction of this very ship the troupe might perform in every corner of the empire. When his grandson took the throne, however, everything changed. Now all their theatre troupes, domestic and foreign, must submit their works for approval by the Central Imperial Board of Censors. If a play is deemed vulgar or inflammatory, it is banned, and the troupe denied their writs of transit. The worst offenders? Well, they're never heard from again. This policy has effectively left playwrights with one of two options: compromise their creative integrity to curry favour with his radiance, or put down their quills altogether. The principal of the Majestic, however, chose a third option: to express his disapproval for the new emperor's policies obliquely in ostensibly unpolitical works. Pray, forgive me for my earlier outburst. I am Alma Bass Lexentale, daughter of Principal Genomus Sen Lexentale. Mayhap you have heard of my father's late play, the Zodiac Brave story? On the surface, it is an innocent retelling of a well-known Garlean fairy tale, hardly worthy of censors' attention, but beneath it is something quite different. A fact the censors failed to spot when they approved the manuscript for public performances. The play quickly became a huge success. Common folk loved its fantastical story, while the learned classes appreciated its true message. By the time the Imperial Board of Censors realized their mistake, it was too late. No longer in a position to prohibit the performance outright without admitting fault, they took aim at the company's purse strings instead. Before long, noble patrons began to withdraw their support, fearing to be associated with the troupe, and by the end, even the learned felt compelled to feign ignorance. By bleeding the Majestic of their funding, censors robbed them of their voice. And none of this has made it any clearer as to why you're here, right? Allow me, Lena. I've known Genomus since we were students at the Magitech Academy. When I heard his daughter was in Kugania looking to enlist the aid of an adventurer, I felt compelled to give her your name. Sorry for not announcing myself sooner, old friend. Genomus? Say Genomus, probably Genomus. Genomus and I were from different worlds. That only served to fuel our friendship. Many were the nights we would prattle on into the wee small hours. Warm flagons of pleated ale numbing our minds to the other's naive ideologies. Yet no matter where our conversations began, it would invariably end with him telling me how he was going to change the Empire from the inside out. The troop was to be his path into the people's hearts. Even after the Empire forced him from his home, Genomus never gave up hope that his work might change the world. Art will ever strain against artificial bounds and borders. Man-made walls and magnitude misguided wars. It is in such times of uncertainty that we must needs embrace our calling and take to the skies so others might do the same. What I'm trying to say, rather poorly, I concede, is that not all Garleans are hewn from the same stone. Just as there are those who pledge their lives to the Empire and would never think to question the authority of its leaders, there are those like Alma's father and myself, whose love for their country does not blind them to its flaws. Still, try selling that sack of sunflower to an Alamegan or Dorman who has watched his family consumed in the flames of Magitech Reaper. How many Eorzean adventurers do you think would leap at the opportunity to heap an imperial search for her missing father? Or help an imperial search for her missing father, and in Garlean territory no less. But you're different. You've seen enough to know that the line between good and evil is not defined by race, colour or creed. So what say you? I'd make a poor adventure if I was to shy away from adventure. Indeed. Now that you understand the nature of the task, perhaps Alma could provide some insight as to where we might begin our search. Shortly before my father disappeared, he began work on his next play, successor to the Zodiac Brave story. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Please, follow me. Ooh, I am full. That spaghetti bolognese. I am full. This time it had peppers in the sauce. Normally I just get normal bolognese sauce. Through adventure and hardship, young Daelita, a boy of common blood, becomes a hero, culminating in the birth of the mythical kingdom of Ivalice. But that is where the story ends. There are no records of anything that follows. Was Principal Genomus simply going to invent something? My father believed that he had discovered evidence of a second hero, one whose efforts were largely unnoticed, but without whom Daelita would never have risen to the throne. His was the next tale he wanted to tell, the true Zodiac Brave story. A second hero? According to my father's studies, this young man was once one of Daelita's closest friends and confidants. That is, until the untimely passing of Daelita's sister forced the two to part ways. Yet the unnamed hero continued to provide aid to his friend by thwarting the machinations of those who would scheme against Daelita, thus paving the way for the pauper's rise to regent. You must forgive me, but I've never heard anyone making such claims. How exactly did your father come by this information? That's a long story. One which began and ends with Genomus becoming lost in the very legend he sought to lay bare. Even as far back as our academy days, Ivalice had Genomus firmly in its grasp. He flatly refused to believe the story was just a fairy tale. And so, when he was finally driven out of Garlemald, it was only natural that he should choose this of all places as his refuge. Was it not, Alma? That is correct, Master Garland. It has not long been my father's belief that the ruin of ancient Ivalice lie beyond Naxia, buried beneath the sands of the Dalmasca Desert. Poor Dalmasca. Kingdom prospered in relative isolation for countless generations, until the Empire came calling. When not torturing? My reading is great. When not touring, my father would organise expeditions into the Dalmasca Desert to search for proof of Ivalice's existence. Sometimes he would bring back strange artifacts, ancient tomes and crystals. Crystals unlike any others. My father called them auracite. He claimed they were vital to proving his theories. This is one such crystal. The auracite was what in 12 you collected sun's energy from. I know there was other crystals throughout the swamp area somewhere in the game near the beginning, and you would go to the crystals and you would absorb the energy into those auracite. By the 12, it's magnificent. Ivalician legend tells of crystals bequeathed by the gods unto those who would be kings. It's during his quest to gather auracite that young Delta rises to prominence. I must have heard the tale 1,000 times from my nursemaid. That is all it ever was, a tale. My father would often tell us how the auracite spoke to him. At the time we assumed he was speaking figuratively, but the stone's beauty roused his muse. But then he began to act strangely. How so? Following our arrival here in Hingashi, my father spent most of his time cloistered in his chambers, poring over his past research. And though he was alone, we could oft hear him in conversation. It was not uncommon for my father to recite the lines as he wrote them, but it soon became clear that this was something else. It was as if he was talking to my mother. My mother who passed several winters gone. Might this not have been out of mere loneliness? Or perhaps the strain of your flight from Garlemald? Possibly, but that would not explain the voice which answered him. Alma, who are these people? I told you I did not require any help finding father, especially from outsiders. So good of you to join us, Ramza. Allow me to introduce... Enough, Master Cid. We may be shunned by the Empire, but we are still Garleans, and we still have our pride, unlike some it seems. We require neither the aid nor the pity of foreign rabble. Have you forgotten where you are, brother? It is we who are foreign rabble. This land and its customs are all but unknown to us. We would be fools to conduct our search without a proven guide. Your sister is right, Ramza. As for my good friend here, your mistrust is ill-placed. I will personally vouch for his character, In all the time I've known him, he has never once let anything as insignificant as race or creed colour his judgment. You're lucky to have him. But we would have you, Master Garland. Why do you refuse us? You know why. Until this affair with Omega is resolved. My hands are it's already resolved. Oh boy. So this was supposed to be before Omega. Ah well, never mind. It pains me to refuse you and your sister. But it pains me far more to leave Genomus to his fate. I am sorry. You need not apologize. I let my emotions get the better of me. After what happened in Rabanasta, it may be time to admit we're out of our depth. My brother's last expedition met with tragedy in the ruins of the capital city. Barely escaped with his life. The Empire turned Rabanasta into a death trap. You're a fool to set foot there without a proper escort. I realize that now, Master Garland. But at the time, I saw an opportunity to rescue our father and I took it. Whatever led you to believe your father was in Dalmasca capital? My father's fascination with Ivalician legend began with a trip to Antediluvian City. Antediluvian? Long before the war. Call it a premonition, but something tells me that is where he has returned. Now you must excuse me. I need some time to think. Then, Alma, I shall leave you and your brother in Jasix's capable hands. He has ever repaid my trust with interest. You would do well to grant him yours. Thank you, Master Garland. We will not forget this kindness. Nod. Not many quests. If I'm lucky, I can get it done today. Master Garland seems to think highly of you, so I will withhold judgment until after Dalmasca. A city fallen, Ramsas itching to depart. Dalmasca is nestled in a forgotten corner of the Empire's outermost territories. I do not foresee any trouble from the standing army, but would suggest committing to memory the location of each of the barge's exits, just in case. As for the flight itself, the currents above Dalmasca are as wild as the land below. You may want to hold on. All hands, prepare for takeoff. Engage. do, 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 do. We'll complete our descent to Rabanasta in the shuttle. Ramza. I thought I made myself clear, Alma. The capital is simply too dangerous. Father would never forgive me if I were to lose you trying to rescue him. Come, we are wasting time. The royal city of Rabanasta. According to my father, Rabanasta was already a thriving city some 1,000 years ago. But after performing several private excavations beneath the so-called Desert Sapphire, my father came to the conclusion that it was not the first settlement to stand here. Then, your father believes that Rabanasta sits atop the royal city of Lysalia? Capital of Ivalice? But if that's true, it could change history. We would be famous. Famous? Are you sure you don't mean rich? Your kind are all alike. Parasites grown fat on the sweat and suffering of others. Bold words from a boy of but 16 summers. And what, pray tell, have I done to deserve such spite? I only wish to learn the truth behind the disappearances of the Empire's foremost playwright. If that should lead to something bigger, well then, I would be the worst reporter in the realm if I did not pursue it. Ladies, calm down. We're being watched. Yes, we can argue about this now, or we can return to the Prima Vista and report to our army of adventurers that it is time to begin the expedition. I humbly suggest the latter. See? It is as I said, brother. Let them come to us. Should we kill them now? No, the time is not right. When has that stopped us before? Fool. Do you see that one? Slayer of gods, they call him. Warrior of light. to Rabanasta. Oh wow, it's already found people. Chucked us in already with a bunch. Alright. Let's go! Hold on, Father. Help is on the way. You cannot expect me to walk away from this. If the legend of Ivalice is true, the public has a right to know. I've done that on the NVIDIA control panel. I've gone into the 3D settings and I've set it to prioritize NVIDIA high performance, but it still insists on using the onboard. Right, please. Please? Right, we're at 0, 1. Oh, finally. I've been sat in this queue for an hour. Finally, let's get this ball rolling. I've been stuck in this queue for an hour. Right. There are no ordinary birds. Of course lies the royal city of Rabanasta. Something foul prevents our crossing. You do not fear me, you will. Right, you know what, screw it, I can't be asked to read this one. I cannot remember the mechanics to this one. It's been a long time since I've done this. The ice burns hotter than flame. Yeah, I've been doing a New Game Plus run. I've gone all the way through Realm Reborn, Heavensward, all the raids. Living shield, protect me from evil. Freeze dark waters. Oh, fuck. Run, 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 run. How's the air volume? Is everything alright? Yeah, I've finished Shadowbringer's main story. I've not done any of the patch content or the raids from that. So that's all going to be new to us. I've just decided to go back and do a new game plus run. I wanted to re-enjoy the story before Endwalker. Fools, you have not yet seen the limit of my reach. It was not mistaken in his assessment of your skill in battle. Still, I worry that something even more sinister awaits us ahead. Seek bandits. It appears the deplorable creatures are here to raid abandoned homes. Yeah. I managed to solo through most of Heavensward and Realm Reborn. Well, pretty much all of Realm Reborn. Didn't need people for that. Apart from the final Coil of Bahamut. Whereas Stormblood, Duty Finder is evil. Roll on Shadowbringers where I can use the trust system. I've just sat in a queue for an hour just trying to get into this one. Yeah, it's because obviously not a lot of people are doing all that content, and there's quite a lot of people aren't going beyond the Heavensward, like people that are playing the free trial. As soon as they hit Heavensward in, they just stop. There's a few, but not many. Which is a shame. Because obviously most current players are not going to go back over and do old content. My father mentioned the Empire using their might to put down rebellions within the city. This destruction's too widespread. What if that creature we fought earlier? Another of the twisted others. This is not the work of the Empire. Something is wrong here. Without order, creation is doomed to descend into chaos. I bring that order, you will kneel. I always try to read the dialogue during battle as well, but it's sometimes difficult. I've got an extra text box at the side there so I can read it if I miss anything. Come, the cleansing flame will seal all wounds. The land seeks order. The land, it will not suffer the chaos you peddle, nor will I. Dodging these AoEs. Resistance will be met with retribution. The land shall bury your screams. To defy order is to defy creation itself. Come, the cleansing flame will seal all wounds. I might just focus on him. He's dead in a second. Your order is a lie. Again, you have proven your worth in this expedition. Let us see what lies beneath the city. More bandits, despite all the creatures we've encountered. I know not whether they are brave or foolish. Yeah, I'm hoping the trust system doesn't work like that on the first playthrough, because I remember when you first played Shadowbringers through, you didn't have to grind their levels up. You could just play through each dungeon as the story progressed. And I wonder if that's just a feature that becomes available after you've beat the story. So I'm hoping when I go back through New Game Plus, I'll just be able to go through and I won't have to, like, grind their levels up. Because I've not done that. I've done a little bit, but not much. I am not paying attention. What's almost shouting on us? That's a noise in the game. It sounds like someone shouting. Welcome to the Grand-type waterway. That's a long read. These tunnels are said to have existed. What group am I in? Here. Never mind. What's that? These tunnels are said to have existed since before even the Kingdom of Dalmasca was born. As the city grows, channels are widened and new outlets dug. I would venture that some of the pools are so deep no one alive has ever seen their bottoms. Bottoms. Liberty bottoms. Libanana. Water's noisy. These ruins, we're no longer in Rabanasta. My friends, this is Lazalia. The Lazalia of Ivalician legend. Creatures here are not mere beasts of void scent. The secrets that lie beyond must be ones worth keeping. Alright, see if I can remember this one. And then just before I do Shadowbringers, I'll be doing Crystal Tower to keep the story fresh. Hark! What army marches on Rothergale's Demisne? Ill fortune befall all who dare gaze upon me. Inexplicable hell awaits you all. I walk the shadows. You will not see me until my fate lance has transfixed your very soul. Very hard to do mechanics well. Stopping to read the dialogue. We should just have these things voiced. The battle horn. Soldiers, to me! You can do it! Again. Too many people went in ours. The heavens tremble in my wake. The Auracite gaze upon its undying brilliance and nor true fear. Even a hound knows when to turn tail. Would you have us think you less than chattel? Ride in the land's embrace. Stop talking! You talk too much. Just fight. The worst one's that sniper. Is he on this one or is it the next one? I remember you've got to like turn the open part of the icon so it's facing towards him. And then there's that one chick that you've got to grab, like the shield buff. Sometimes I die on that one. Without light, there can be only darkness. Born of darkness, born of night, come forth, my children. The tip of my lance is already at your necks. Submit or die. Drown in my dark. This guy likes to talk. Ah! What? Wasn't paying attention. You can do it! There's 2 healers alive. Hang in there. Oh no. Why? No. Hang in there. He's nearly dead. Oh, there's people running right into the EO. Panic. Oh, yeah, there's 2 more. The healers are still alive. Come on. He's nearly dead. Ah, to die a good death. That went well. Any doubts I had of your participation? The air here feels wrong. Can't you sense it? Damn you, auto text.
Disturb the slumber of
Yay, voice acting.
Adolphus, rightful king of Ivalice. Descendants of House Beowulf, then by my sword shall I banish your souls to the deepest hell.
They're already fighting it.
I am the truth from which you run. You will be judged.
Right, it was... What was it again? It was red eyes don't do the opposite. Blue do what he says. If I remember.
I am a revelation!
See, I like that this one's voiced. I could be all be voiced.
You will be judged. Kneel and repent.
Crawl forth from the shadows, my pet.
You are the blood to stain the circle. Does it grieve you to see the depths of your own weakness laid bare? Maggots! You do not belong in my world. Step into nothing. I am the lies upon which you sup.
Oh shit, what did he say there? I wasn't paying attention.
You will be judged.
Okay.
The world has no place for such wretches.
It's fine.
Your claim to life is forfeit.
It's fine.
You are but blood to stain the circle. I am a revelation!
Just gotta be calm when it comes to that. Right, so now do the opposite of what he wants. So, just stand still.
You will be judged.
Yeah.
I am a revelation!
Now do what he wants.
You will be judged. Kneel and repent. You are but blood to stain the circle.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Ah, come on. Again, next to the end. You got a few with there. Oh god, healers. I like life.
The gods have no eyes for cattle. Like sheep before the wolf. Fool is the dog who bares his teeth before his master. I am a revelation!
Nah, stand still. What? Stand still.
You will be judged. I am a revelation! You will be judged.
Chivo!
Where am I? This body, it is not my own.
Oh, gods, what have I done? Save me! Ramza! Save me!
One down, 3 to go. Royal City of Rabanastar complete. 2 to go. You know, I'll give it to a deeps, because I like being nice to fellow deeps. Oh my god, surprise face. Where am I? Father! Ramza, the Warrior of Light. Yes, I know of you, but that you should come to my rescue. Words fail me. A poor playwright I must seem. The term you're looking for is thank you, upon which note I, Bagamnon, bounty hunter, do humbly thank you, Warrior of Light, for delivering me this fine gift. Now hand over the Auracite, unless you wish to see the desert sands turn red. And be quick. Gijuk here does not have the steadiest of hands. That one. She will bring it to me. Yes, this is it. The Duma. And to think we found it so close to Doma. The Duma of Doma. Legasp. Enough, Waggy. We would not have our guests think us underbred. You have what you want, you thieving lizards. Now unhand him. Of course. The Bangar's always true to his word. I will be keeping this, though. Face plant. Father! You've only yourselves to blame for this. But if you mislike the thought, you could always blame the gods. Not that they are listening. Get up, fool, we're leaving. Wait for me! Hang on tight. You're going to be all right. We cannot see to your father's hurts here. Come on, we must get him back to the Prima Vista. Denomus remains deep in a slumber, But his breathing is steady and his fever has subsided. But now all we can do is wait. Send word to Sid. I hope you don't mind. Alma, Ramza, you ever forgive me? And you, Sid, it was never my intention to put you to such trouble. I am ever in your debt. You would have done the same for me, Genomus. Besides, it was Jasix here who went to all the trouble. If anyone deserves your thanks, it's him. He is right. I have done naught to deserve your kindness, yet I am its beneficiary nonetheless. Beneficiary. So, if I understand correctly, you're saying Aurasight does not work to facilitate the possession of a living host by an icon, as was assumed to be the case with Ivalice and the Archbishop. It rather absorbs the host's ether, its very soul, and somehow transforms it before returning it to the host's body. If that is the case, our Sharlayan allies will need to be informed immediately. But I suppose the real question here is, did you find what you came looking for? The legend will have us believe that Dalita Hyral, the commoner who would be king, was the sole hero of the Zodiac Brave story. As I have discovered, there was another. Two others, in fact. Siblings whose roles faded from subsequent retellings of the story. A brother and a sister by the names of Ramza and Alma. Then, to prepare for this assignment, I pored over every publishing work on Ivalician legend and I could lay my hands on. Nowhere did I find any mention of these siblings. But I did. I uncovered irrefutable evidence that Dalita had a close companion named Ramza, who aided him in his rise to power. This, in turn, led me to Alma. That I might never lose sight of the truth, I named my own children after these lost players. I'm sorry I never told you any of this, Sid. But you must believe me. Release has never been a mere pastime of mine. It is and forever will be my calling, my purpose. My family's purpose. Go on. The world knows me as Genomus Zen Lexentil, yet that is but my stage name. My true name is Arzalam. Arzalam Durai. Arazlan? Countless generations past, it was my ancestor who penned the Durai papers. An account of Ivalice and the War of the Lions that details what truly occurred during the turbulent era. You are tired, father. Rest. I will continue. Long ago, an orphan by the name of Oren Durai crossed paths with both Ramza and Dalita. After Delita's rise to power, Oren found himself in the service of the pauper become king. Following the War of the Lions, that's the Final Fantasy Tactics game, which I might go back and play at some point. Oren believed the people of Ivalice had a right to know the truth of Ramsa's involvement and set about documenting his deeds. When the church learned of his intent, however, they branded him a heretic and had him burned at the stake. The dry papers were never published, and any existing copies were gathered and sealed away in church vaults. The truth about Ivalice along with them. What was so damning that it would drive the church to do such a thing? Yeah, I played through most of Tactics. I think I beat Tactics Advance years ago. I think I beat it anyway. But obviously the story's completely unrelated. And then there was Tactics Advance 2, which I bought, but I never really got very far into that one. War of the Lions, I got a little way into it, but I never did finish it. The answer to that question can be found in this book. The only surviving transcript of my ancestors' chronicle, copied from an early draft and passed down for untold generations. With this, my father and I plan to reveal the truth and restore honor to my family name. Forbidden Chronicles? Secret family legacy? Not that I doubt you, Genomus. But how do you expect to convince people of all of this when well nigh every soul in the realm believes Ivalice to be nothing but a bedtime story? By proving that it is anything but. And when people see that Ivalice was real, the rest will fall into place. Were it as simple as bringing forth the Chronicles and submitting it for review, we would of course have done so long ago, but alas it is not. The dry papers, you see, are written in High Ivalician, an ancient tongue long extinct. My father, his father, and his father before him laboured tirelessly to decipher this tome, but for want of other sources made only fitful progress. A word here, a phrase there. It wasn't until a recent expedition to Rabanasta turned up several well-preserved artifacts that we were able to translate a small portion of the papers. Yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Lions, Final Fantasy XII, Final Fantasy XII on the 3DS, which is Brave Story, I think. I don't know where I put the copy of that. 1 second. No, Revenant Wings. Revenant Wings, that's what it was called. Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings on the DS. That story took place after Final Fantasy XII. And it continues the story with Vaughn after he becomes a sky pirate. But yeah, they're all tied together. They're all set in the same world as this. Then the diary stolen by the Banga bounty hunters. I'm afraid so. Everything we have learned of the language was contained in those papers. And we're back to where we started. Not necessarily. We still have the transcripts as well as some few translated pages, and of course my father's impeccable memory. I have come too far to allow so simple a setback to deter me from my purpose. I will show the world the truth of it if it is the last thing I do. I really need a drink. My mouth is very dry. This is as Master Garland said. He is a man obsessed. I fear Ivalice's grip on him will only grow tighter. Father was fortunate to escape Ravenasta with his life, and already he speaks of continuing his quest. Promise me you'll keep him safe, please. Oh my god. What can it all mean? After what I've seen here, I'm all but convinced that Ivalice exists, at least in some form. Problem will be gathering sufficient evidence to convince the thousands of scholars and historians who have based their careers on presumptions that it doesn't. Not that I've ever been one to shy away from a challenge, especially when it means the story of the century. If you're in Jasix, then I'm in. If you're not in, well, I'm still in. Either way, you'll be hearing from me again soon. Not much I could promise you. Drink. Back in a second. Really need a drink. Alright, one down. Please let the next duty finder be quicker. If I'm quick and I get through these next few dialogue quests, that group that I was with, hopefully he'll be re-queuing up. If I'm lucky. But you all know me, I'm not lucky. What is this look? Never heard of it. It'd be nice if War of the Lions got a console release for like PS4 and that. I've got it on my Vita. But it hasn't gotten. It got an Android release and a Vita release, and PSP. I don't think it's on any other like newer systems, which is a shame. It'd be nice for it to get like a PS4, PS5 release, or even a Steam release. Uninvited. Lena Merle appears to have been awaiting your arrival for quite some time. Jasix, where in the world have you been? Did you not receive Alma's summons? Principal Exentiel's research into the aura site may finally have borne fruit. We must hurry to the Prima Vista before they embark on some grand and perilous adventure without us. I really need to get my gear repaired. I hear that you can't interact with NPCs to repair your shit during like New Game Plus. You've got to suspend it and then speak to the NPCs and then reload New Game Plus. It's so stupid. Ah, my brother must have been disconnected. Or if he didn't die randomly at some point and it just disconnected him. I noticed when I came here to start this, he had like the red disconnecting symbol next to his name. I was thinking, uh-oh, internet. Because he keeps going to work and he leaves his fucking PlayStation connected to this game instead of logging out. No wonder our internet's knackered. If you would follow me to the shuttle, good sir. Jasix. Lady Marilla. Thank you for answering my summons. Master Garland was kind enough to send for an Archon from Charlian, and I thought it only right that you be present to hear her findings. To be frank, summoning Mikoto was more Y'shtola's idea. Oh no, we're out of place. Y'shtola's gone sleepy buys. He's talking to sleepy people. I simply came along to see what light she could shed on this mystery. I am Mikoto of House Jinba, a doorman. Though my years in Charlian have made me a stranger here, you must be Jasix Thuldred, fabled liberator of men, slayer of false gods, warrior of light. I thought you'd be taller. Hey! How dare you make fun of me because I'm a Lalafell? Don't like her already? Cheeky shit. Let us speak of the crystal. Why'd that auto skip? The Orteus, one of but many Auracite shards that aided noble Daelita's rise to regent. My apologies. The Orteus is no ordinary crystal. Even discounting its obvious historical importance, the specimen is more than a simple manifestation of elementally aspected energies. It is rather an ethereal lodestone whose facilitation of both the absorption and transmission of distinct frequency NRR type harmonic vibrations has been observed to promote ethereal amplification. Resultant neuroharmonic disturbance allows for a highly unique emittance of CPRS waves that, instead of radiating outward with a determinate factor of dispersal, instead resonate inward at a frequency so laboured my estimates place the rate of VRT decay at upwards of several centuries. Huh? Pardonnez-moi? Parlez-vous l'anglais? Though I must admit, I lack sufficient varieties to complete a truly comprehensive graphical assessment. Huh. While that explanation may elicit admiring nods from your professors at the academy, it will earn you only blank looks here. Take a deep breath and try again. This time in a language those of us without the echo might comprehend. My apologies, I merely thought... Apologies will see us no nearer to an answer. A simpler explanation will. Simpler, right. Ether is not only the building block of all things material, though is immaterial as well. Thoughts, memories, feelings, one's very will are all understood to be ethereal phenomena, and can be measured as such. Unlike most crystals which can emit elemental energies, aurosite is tuned not only to absorb ether, but ether specific to the immaterial. That ether is then stored and multiplied within its crystalline confines until external stimuli precipitate release. Try again. I mean, I somewhat understood that. Under appropriate conditions, a strong will or desire can become imprinted upon the aurosite and stored until fermentation, at which time the desire becomes manifest. Fermentation? What my studious young friend is trying to say is that the Orteus takes one's deepest fantasies and makes them reality. Yes, that's simpler. You may choose to think on it as a process akin to that of summoning a primal. There being one marked difference. Primal summoning requires a supplemental energy source, such as a horde of elementally charged crystals. Aurosite, on the other hand, has the capacity to serve as its own source of power. We know from the Durai papers that Agath was never king of Ivalice. He was slain in battle during the War of the Lions. Yet the Argoth encounter during the recent expedition carried himself as if he had been crowned regent. I believe this was merely the aurosite in his possession realizing his desire to rule. I am informed that he uttered the same words over and over again for the duration of the confrontation which unfolded. If that is the case, it is possible that it was not actually Argath who uttered them, but the Auracite itself. If the Durai papers are accurate, Argath was a weak and petty noble who believed that his blood entitled him to power. The Auracite took that belief and twisted it into the abomination we Jasix put to the sword. And you are saying the crystal could prove a threat? The Auracite, Alma, and not necessarily. Ramza seemed to fare well enough. There is no record of the younger regions being manipulated by the artifacts he gathered. In the hands of the just, the Auracite should prove harmless, even beneficial. To paraphrase, it's not the weapon that kills, but the one who wields it. Nowhere have I heard that before. Ah yes, it was Emperor Galvus's justification for taking the marvels of Magitech and applying them to the manufacture of arms. Where, after all, was the harm in it if it allowed him to bring order to the three great continents? You draw an intriguing parallel, Master Garland. Properties of these crystals are so singular, you begin to wonder if they, like Magitech, are products of science and not nature. That they were created by someone to... But who? What manner of person would even be capable of such a feat? Now that is an interesting question, the answer to which I look forward to hearing. Regrettably, I have pressing matters to attend to elsewhere. Fear not, however, Mikoto's insights will prove far more beneficial than anything I might accidentally contribute. Good day to you all. What I don't understand is, if the Duma was imprinted with Argath's deepest desires, then whose desires are rattling about inside the Orteus? Better put that back. I had the self-same question, and thus conducted a thorough inspection of the crystal upon my arrival. Results were inconclusive. Traces of ethereal activity were present. To all intents and purposes, the vessel was empty. Empty? What of the voices I heard? Voices? I heard nothing of the sort. The only voices you heard, Alma, were in your stubborn head. Ramza, why won't you... Shall we speak of voices then? What of yours, Alma? Our resident voice of dissent? You have done naught but question the wisdom of our research from the moment we left Garlemald. Would you put your petty worries above our family's calling? No, I would never. You would never? Then why involve a gossip monger, a goody two-shoes, and this flying mole? Beep, 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 beep. Please tell me you can see that. Mont Blanc. I think. Am I interrupting? Oh, please do go on. My acceptance into your fine troop ranks can wait until all have said their piece, Kupo. Gods, get this. Mont Blanc. The name is Mont Blanc, denizen of Dalmasca's deserts, seeker of thrills, adventure extraordinaire. You may call me Mont Blanc, Kupo. Dalmasca has long been known as a melting pot for myriad cultures, where minor races such as the Sikh, Banga, and the Vieira might live in relative harmony with Hur, Elzin, and others. There's no record of a prominent Mughal population. Most likely because we are neither prominent nor populous. My people are nomadic by nature, ever drawn to the elusive frontier and the freedom she promises, Kupo. Mughal? Of course I'm a Mughal, Kupo. You think the adorable wings and the fluffy pom would have given it away? Now, about my admission to the Majestic. I will allow no such thing. The Majestic is the Empire's premier theatre company. We will not sully its good name by granting refuge to a fluttering ball of fur. And furthermore, how in the world did this abomination board the Prima Vista in the first place? You big meanie? By means of his wings, were I to guess. As for his admission to our company, I do not seem to recall race, creed, or allegiance on my list of prerequisites, do you? No, father. Very well then, Mont Blanc. What is it exactly that calls you to the stage? Our stage. What else? The Zodiac Brave story, Kupo. Never before have I witnessed something so amazing, so moving. Sitting, well, technically hovering there in the audience as the story unfolded around me, I knew I was witnessing something special. Something positively transcendental. It was then that I realized I either had to be a part of it or go to my grave a bitter, broken Mughal. Was this realization before or after you swore you simply had to become the realm's greatest marauder, Kupo? Herdy, how did you... Perhaps you'd have more success at running away if you didn't reveal your grand design to every other fool you happened to meet, Kupo. Was it not but 20 nights ago you took up the axe, Kupo? Now here you are professing your passion for the stage before carving even a single notch in your haft. You not remember? To he who churns the butter goes the sweetest bread. But how is one to savour said buttered bread if his head is in the belly of a fearsome beast? You accuse me of giving up when I merely came to the realization that continue would end in failure. Only through a change of course could I reach my final destination, Kupo. But that destination is what? Mama? Are you sure it is not Geomancer? Arithmetician? Templar? Do not bother answering, Kupo. We all know you'll be singing a different tune come cock crow. That is where you are mistaken, Hurdy. I was destined to be a thespian. I could feel it in my fur. The role of Delita was made for me. Made for me, Kupo. Enough! The actors in our company trained at the Empire's finest institutes. They represent the pinnacle of the profession, not only in Garlemald, but across the entire world. A vagrant bat-mole like you could never hope to share the stage with such artists, let alone play the part of a hero like Delita. You yourself admitted you were too craven to face a solitary beast. How do you imagine you would fare against a pack of theatre critics? Any troupe would need proof of valor before it could be even considered. Craven. Call me a cheat, and call me a cur. But do not, sir, call me Craven. I accept your challenge. Slay but one foul beast by mine own hands, and the majestic Theatre Company will accept me into its ranks, Kupo. Wait, I issued no such... You are all here witnesses, Kupo. When I return to the head, with the head of a terrible beast in my gore-stained hands, you will be honor-bound to welcome me, Mont Blanc the Mother, into the fabled ranks of the majestic. Good day. Hop. Wonderful. What do we do now? What do? We do nothing. If that Batmore wishes to throw himself on the horns of a stampeding zoo, I will not stand in his way. I believe the proper term of derogation is Morbat, and I should warn you, Ruggles do not take kindly to those who use it. Why must you always put yourself above others, brother? Did you learn nothing from Argath's wretched example? Mont Blanc would never have set off on this fool's errands had you not made me the challenge. Anything befalls my brother, his blood will be on your hands. Jasix, you're the only one among us capable of locating Mont Blanc and preventing disaster. On behalf of my brother, I beg your assistance. My brother can be rather simple-minded when it comes to such matters. Thinking to impress the Warrior of Light and his companions, Mont Blanc would likely choose the scene of your recent exploits to prove his worth, meaning Rabanastre if I'm not mistaken. Pardon my language, that Ramza really is an incurable little prick. Is he not? How dare he speak to his sister and the Moogle in that manner? I couldn't decide which was worse, the things he said, or the way the principal sat back and let him say them. But I suppose it is none of our concern. For now, let us concentrate on the task at hand, finding that Moogle before he does something we'll all regret. Let's say we start nearby. Here too, perhaps? All this reading gives you dry mouth. So yes, this was supposed to take place before Omega. I didn't know that. I've done Omega before. I did Omega before the patch content of Stormblood. But I get the feeling this story might come in later with the Endwalker. Maybe. But screw it, I'll do it now rather than later. Ooh, what's this? Nenny? I just got given a mount. Antelope stag mode. Huh. I'm not sure. Yeah, she gave us a stag mount. Apparently she's got many. Why's the two? Speak with either or. Does this give us two separate quests? The Falcon Porter tells us that he sent a travelling blacksmith away to Yangsha, not a bell passed. And who would that be of interest to us, you ask? Why would that be of interest? Because it said peddler of iron and steel was seen to be carrying a bag stuffed to the brim with, I quote, albino mole fur and purple bat wings. Mont Blanc. Not that we look like that, Coupeau. The quickest route to Dalmasca is via the One River and its western tributaries. If Mont Blanc is bound for Rabanasta, he will seek passage from the Glittering Basin. Is that stag new or old? I'm guessing it's old. Fly! Is this a new mount or an old mount? Da, na, 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 na. Do, 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 doodle, do, 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 doodle, do, 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 doodle, do, 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 doodle, do. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, 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 wah. This game's very pretty on the PS5. But yeah, it'd be nice to see what it's going to look like when they start doing the texture upgrades, because they said that's the next step for the PC and the PS5 version. They're going to start doing texture upgrades to make the game look even prettier. Lighting was the first upgrade, and obviously make loading times quicker across PS5 and PC. You think hurt our presence. You are under attack. Help me, my chocobo. Mont Blanc, what were you thinking? Have you any idea what you put your brother through? He's been worried sick. Herdy and Ramza were right all along. I am a failure, a flop, a flailing, flapping, foppish failure, Kupo. How could I play the part of a hero if I cannot even ruffle the feathers of a single measly bird? The audience would see right through me like the spineless jellyfish I am. Now wait, Mont Blanc. Not everyone can be a hero. Not even most heroes. Yes, the bards sing of the man who deals the final blow. But what of his charade of loyal companions? Cadre? Charade is... Cadre? Cadre? That's not charade. Cadre? 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 Do you think Delita united Ivalice on his own? Do you think Jasix here was alone when he liberated Alamigo? Yes. It was all me. Not all wars are won on the front lines. But of course they are not. Every campaign needs its brilliant architect, the mastermind who moves the pieces across the board. I, Mont Blanc, can be that mastermind. That was quick. Let us not dwell on the details. The day is saved and Mont Blanc has escaped sans scratch or singe to show for it. We should return to the Prima Vista before our luck runs out. Son of a dingle. That's not what I want. Kugane, Kugane, Kugane. Da 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 da. I don't think I'm going to get this finished tonight. Even if I was to stay up late, queue times would just be even worse. I'm probably not even going to get in the next one. It took us an hour just to get into the first one. Do you seek passage to the Prima Vista? Yes, I do. I do. Please, this ship is a place of peace. Release my sister or you will answer to me. When the cat's away... Put that damnable thing down, Ramza. You're not helping matters. We have no quarrel with you or yours. We only seek aid in finding our leader, Bagamban. You seek our help? You who threatened to kill my father? Who stole his work and made fools of us all? Never. Silence, Ramza. They have Alma. We'll hear what they have to say. As I said, we have no quarrel with you. We only did what was necessary to secure an audience. We surrender our weapons and offer you your journal as an act of good faith. Ahem. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. This is all rather a lot to digest. But your claims do coincide with what we have learned about the Aura site. You're saying that crystal did something to our captain? After being emptied of Argath's will, the Duma sought that of another to sate its appetite for ether. You're saying that crystal ate our captain? Not his body, no. Only his soul. His soul? Tell me, what in your opinion was your leader's deepest desire? What was it that he longed for above all else in this world? Why waste your breath reasoning with these lizards? They showed themselves for the beasts they are when they put a knife to your throat. First molebats, now lizards. This one's tongue is pure poison. The boy can call us what he pleases. For our past failings, we deserve no better. Your feelings? 30 summers have come and gone, yet not a night goes by that I do not wake in a sweat at the memory. We were Fusiliers in the Dalmascan army, stationed in the royal stronghold at Nalbina. Nalbina Fortress was reputed to be impenetrable. Its fall with the 6th Legion proved a turning point in the Imperial campaign, dealing a crushing blow to Dalmascan morale and ultimately marking the beginning of the kingdom's end. Agamemnon was our captain, and once it was clear the day would not be ours, Prince Rasla, commandant of the garrisons at Nalbina, tasked him with one final mission. Our unit was to escort His Highness's twin sister, the Princess Asleia, away from the fortress, and thence to safety. Things did not go as planned. Still remember the words she uttered as she lay dying in the captain's arms, but a stone's throw from where the Garmacite waterway drains into the sea. Even as the fog of death descended upon her, she smiled and told us, the very people who had failed her to survive, for as long as even a single Dalmascan stood, our nation would never truly perish. She's from 12, if I remember. But it should not have been us who survived. By failing to protect our charge, we betrayed the princess and her memory, and brought shame upon our race. So yes, we are naught but cold-blooded lizards, deserving of whatever scorn you deign to heap on us. I think we may safely assume a deep-seated hatred towards the invaders of his homeland, coupled with self-loathing born from a sense of powerlessness. The darkness that lurks in the heart of Agamemnon is little different from that which drove Argath, self-same emotion that were to nourish the Duma. Stop speaking in riddles, Charlian. She's saying your brave captain will eventually turn into a monster, or rather, more of one. Garlean lies. What they say is true. If we do not find Agamemnon and the Duma soon, none of us are safe, present company included. Do you have any idea where he might have gone? Any at all? Wait, look at this. Something has been added to the final page of my journal. Then the captain must have put it in there. Only he had access to it, until we found it in the pack he left behind, that is. Is this Dalmascan? Indeed it is. It says Riderana. The lighthouse. Why would he write that? And in the old man's journal, no less. There's a place on the Valnard Sea, far to the south of Rabanasta, where the ocean tumbles into a gaping maw more than a mile across. The Riderana Cataract. Legend would have us believe that it is the entrance to the hell of water. Many a scholar seeking to prove otherwise has descended into the chasm, some even by airship. Not a one has returned. And the lighthouse is end game final 12. Near the end. I must admit to knowing little of Ridorana save that which Lady Mikoto shared with us. Before we expend valuable time and resources travelling to so remote a place, I must review my notes and see if there is any mention of the Abyss. I shall send for you as soon as we learn aught of interest. My power, my pleasure, my plan, my pain. How far is that in? My power, my pleasure, my pain. Paper. Halfway if you don't include those last 3 quests that have no purpose at all. My power, my pleasure, my pain. What is that tune? That's what that is referencing. I can't remember the name of the song. I can remember bits of the lyrics. Something is on Principal Dramatis' mind. Fortunately, it's not what you think it is. Lovely filler. Is it what? Oh, you mean the last 3 quests or the song? Yeah, those last 3 quests bear no purpose. It's from a rose. There again. Paper. Haven't heard that song in a while. I can't remember the lyrics. Ridorana has proven to be quite an enigma. Every answer comes countless new questions. This may take longer than I expected. You are doubtless eager to know why I requested your presence. Our resident dramaturge mentioned there was something he wished to ask of you. As my work here is far from complete, I wonder if you might not indulge the man while you wait. Yeah, the last few quests take place with this dude, and it's literally go find some wine, go find some fish and food. It has fuck all to do with the story. As far as I remember, anyway. That's how I had to quickly do those last 3 quests to get New Game Plus unlocked. Because I had done the main part of the story, but then those 3 quests were still to be done. There is few so loath to take their rest than venturers without a quest. For shorn of work to give them worth, they soon become a source of mirth. Quoth the man idling in an airship. Touché. I shall leave you to your devices then. Bye! Wait, what? Is that, Nanny? Are you taking the piss? What? Again, fuck you. Fine, adventure will find me in time. Fine, giving us that option if it's gonna kick us out. But it has, my friend, it has. My colleagues tell me that if one in this land ever needs an item fetched, that you are the man to speak to. I find this philanthropic compulsion fascinating, and so, in the interest of research into my next play, let's say, I seek to put said compulsion to the test. Assuming you are game, of course. Bring me a bottle of wine. But not just any wine. Make it rose-themed, and make it Eorzean. I've had my fill of the bitter blends offered here in the East. Where to start? Oh, if only there were some port where thirsty Eorzeans went for their wine. You would surely be there speaking with its former blind Lalafelin, Vintnir, and not here with me. Yeah, the last quest also makes you go there and get more wine. This guy's just a fetch quest. Taking the piss. My power, my pleasure, my pain, paper. I'm gonna have to listen to that later. It's in my head now. Soy and spice, sprinkled with subtle token of the steppe. You have travelled far, my friend. What is it you seek here in Wineport? Got some rose wine? A rose-themed wine? You'd be hard-pressed to find a wine that did not display some hint of rose. We can assume that your client was not referring to a desired bouquet. Perhaps a name or a label or a bottle. Yes, I seem to recall a certain vintage rose sold in crystal bottles with a single rose on the label. Alas, I have nothing as rare amongst my personal stock. As for who might, well, there's always Bergelint, I suppose. Don't I do this exact same quest at the end? I'm sure the very last quest makes you do this exact same thing. This Hitler-looking guy here. Ha! Only an uncultured fool. Yeah, it is definitely the same quest. It makes you do this at the end of the raid quest line as well. Only an uncultured fool would select a wine based solely on its bottle. As it happens, however, said fool would be undeservingly rewarded with only would one of Wildbrand's best wines were he to select a vintage Sudvinage. Not that your Clyde would have the palate to properly appreciate its depth and complexity. But let us dispense with the pretense. You are the fool in question, and do not bother to deny it. A fool who has aimed too high. One of your standings could live 1,000 lifetimes and still not amass the wealth required to purchase even an empty bottle. Oh, price is no object, is it? Ha! Even if I believed you, and I do not, I have a reputation to uphold as a vintner and viticulturist. Were my clients to learn I was peddling the choice of my collection to the likes of you, they would never do business with me again. Fah, all right. Just to see the back of you. I shall do you the kindness of directing your steps unto one who might take pity on your plight, assuming he does not find amusement in it. Master Garuju of Costa del Sol. But do not tell him I sent you. Just so happens I'm good buddies with this guy. Better give us some. Kick his ass. This is the land where I kept bumping into a lot of bot players. Wondering if that was the one. Saying that, the bot ones normally glitch underneath the floor so you can't see them. We end up seeing like the hats sticking out from the floor and their names. So it's like, what's the point? Jasix, it's always a pleasure, and I do mean that. My ladies inform me you come inquiring after a bottle of Sadvina. But I told them they must be mistaken. Not even you would be foolish enough to think you could... Give me a bottle, now. Oh, you are serious. Jasix, you do realise one could purchase an entire state in mist for the price of a single bottle? Or 5 estates for the price of 5 bottles, which happens to be the number of bottles of Sadvinia I have in my collection. Now, I'm not an unreasonable man. Let not say that the venerable Generiju does not value a friendship as deep as the one you and I have forged. So, in my boundless generosity, I offer you the opportunity for a trade. A bottle of Vignada for a mere magnum of fine Dalmascan. Never heard of the stuff? And I thought I was talking to a fellow connoisseur. I pity the poor vintner back in Wineport who will have to educate you. Until then, my friend, the offer stands. Damn it. You're gonna drag this quest line out, aren't you? You can just do some pointless shit that has nothing to do with the story. Kill me now. Definitely not getting in with that same group. They'll have just skipped all of this. Or the vast majority of them will just be people doing their dailies. Persian van Viandra, and now Dalmascan wine? Might I interest you in an aged Leminsian red instead? No, I thought not. Well, then, you have your work cut out for you. There was a time Dalmascan wine was fairly easy to procure, even here in Vilbrand. But that was before the Empire raised the better part of the kingdom, vineyards and all. If there are any surviving bottles, it would be those that were exported before the Imperial invasion, over 30 summers past. I've not encountered any in a decade or more, either at auction or in private hands. Collectors are covetous creatures. If one were to have somehow acquired a bottle, there is little chance he would willingly part with such a treasure, which leaves only those brought over by the few Dalmascan refugees who fled to Eorzea. Now I'll speak to a dude over here. And then, if I remember, he directs us over to a guy over there in the wine patch, or the berry patch, or whatever. Now I'll go into the guy that lives in the cabin in the woods. He's a bit loco. And this is where I had my encounter with many bots when I was playing through Realm Reborn. Can't sleep. They won't let me. The midges won't let me. They buzz and they scream. Pat, pat, there. You, I know you. You were here before. You sent away the midges. They came back, though. They always come back. They mock me. Tell me I can never go home. Just want to go home. I cannot stand it here anymore. There. Give me damn wine. Wine? Wife loved wine. We drink a glass of Alnis every night before sunset. He would always keep the cork. I always thought that odd. What good is a cork? Toss it in Toss it in the bin heap along with the bottle, I'd say, but she... Van? Ah, there it is. Hey, mate. Now you find several empty wine bottles amongst the rubbish. One in particular calls out to you. Take it, confirm its origin. Stop itching. What a pointless quest. What a pointless quest. Serves no purpose. Serves no purpose. What a pointless quest. They should cut this out of the New Game Plus run. I was dressed. I do hope your visit did not disquiet the poor soul. Here's your damn bottle. Oh, you brought me an empty bottle. Ah, but what is this? The cork remains in place. Most fortunate. If an adequate seal was made, there may still be traces of the wine within. May I? That's good shit, man. Flamboyant yet elegant. A thought-provoking blend of kakuru beans and cinnamon, with just a hint of... is that rosemary? A veritable kaleidoscope of both opulence and refinement. Long has it been since I last encountered a bouquet of such complexity. Yet I recall it as if it were yesterday. Without question, this bottle once held a Dalmascan Learmonde red by the name of Ivalice. I think I would have the opportunity to experience it again after so many summers. I suspect Master Garuja will not be satisfied with a sniff as I. Now, one without scruples might see the empty bottle as the basis for a ruse. One man's ruse is another man's kaku? Hancock, go here. Over the years, I have had numerous dealings with the Lord of Costa del Sol, and while he is many things, an expert on wines is not one of them. Not that it would matter if he were. Men of his standing invariably find more joy in boasting of their acquisitions than in consuming them. In all likelihood, Master Garuja will never even open the bottle, rendering the province of its contents practically irrelevant. Ah, but where are my manners? These forays back to western climes always bring out the barbarian in me. It is a pleasure, Jasix. Lest you wonder at my presence here, my employer see promise in the Hingan wine trade and desire the establishment of a variable route twixt east and west. I am come to see their plans to fruition. But returning to your dilemma, I believe that I may be of assistance. I just so happen to have on my person, just pulls out of his arse, big ass bottle, just happens to be carrying it, and it doesn't look like there's a lid on it. I happen to have in my person several sample bottles of Hingan wine made with grapes similar to those once found in Dalmasca. For a close acquaintance, I would be more than willing to part with one that he might fill his empty vessel. That would be unjust. As a maker of wine, I cannot allow it. Master Garujo has condemned more of his clients than he can count. Cozened? How do you think the man amassed his fortune? Am I playing fair? But that the words were thus. The world were thus. My reading. But I am here to tell you it is not. So, it is decided then. You shall employ deceit as our morally justified means to a happy end. Wait, this is a fool's errand. Yoink. Then let us be glad our quarry is a fool himself. Okay. Now, if you will excuse me, I must go and tell the gentle citizens of Wineport why they should be drinking Hingen. Good day. I saw nothing. Nothing at all. I'm not going to say a word. Moving on. For those that don't know, he's blind. By the gods, you actually found one? A bottle of Dalmascan wine? Oh, we must uncork it right away. Le Monde Wellness, or at least it appears that way. Yes. A lush bouquet of herbaceous dignification, coupled with earthen undertones and so forth. Yeah, I haven't got a clue. In short, the very epitome of Dalmascan red. Yes, you haven't done yourself this time, Jasix. And a promise is a promise. Ladies, a bottle of Vinaggia, if you please. One of them turns out to be a wine specialist. But sir, that's not the wine you seek. Hey, Kitsith. Take the one with the rose on it, please. Take whichever you fancy. Except for the one with the rose. That is my favourite. Or whichever you fancy. I need the one with the rose. Cheers. I bid you adieu. What a pointless quest. Serves no purpose. Bye, Garuju, you idiot. Enjoy that wine. Laced it with some laxatives. Do, 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 do. Na 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 na. Yeah, I got your stupid wine. Go sit on it. They say a rose is a rose is a rose. Tell me, adventurer, is that rose in your a rose in your pocket, or are you simply here for small talk? A vintage wine so rare and so expensive you cannot help but stop and wonder why you just don't drink it yourself and give the wandering Dramatis a bottle of Lanisian Red. This guy's gonna get rich. I'm gonna give him that bottle and he's gonna go and sell it. A bottle of Vinja. Vianja. You never cease to amaze. Never cease is the first time I've done anything for you. What was most amazing is your impeccable sense of timing. The day marks the 12th anniversary of the day I met my dear wife. If there was one thing she loved more than wine, it was roses. But that she were here today to... Ah, but I jest. My wife is very much alive. In fact, kick him in the junk. He's been here with us all along. Darling, would you care to join us? Kick him in the junk. Kick him in the junk. Oh, Blee, how thoughtful. But did you forget the most important gift of all? Of course not. Kick him in the junk. Ah, he's a chef, isn't he? Bacon bread. A perfect companion to a perfect wine. Or my perfect companion. Oh, darling, I think this might be our best anniversary yet. Kick him in the junk. That played out better than I imagined. I suppose I have you to thank, adventurer. Oh, it was the bacon bread that sealed the... Ah, yes. Is that Principal Jinmonis I can hear? Perhaps he made some progress with his research and requires your assistance. You'd best not keep him waiting. Not exactly the time to indulge in a glass of wine. Rubbish. Moments such as these are exactly the time. However, out of respect, I shall refrain from uncorking this bottle until you return. You do not expect it to be long, do you? Stick him in the junk. I hope these past few turns of the sun have proved to as productive for you as they have for us. We've much to share. Desire. Dramatis and his son have completed their investigation into Ridorama. Ridorama is the name of both a massive gap in the southern Valnard Sea and the lighthouse once manned by the Royal Dalmascan Navy to prevent ships from succumbing to the cataract's current. I stress once manned, as the tower has lain empty since its Candlekeeps abandoned their posts after the fall of Rabanasta. But if Faris Cirrus offers any indication of what can befall a lighthouse in the absence of its caretakers... Yes, the real question is how all of this ties in with Ivalician legend. A cursory examination of the Zodiac Brave story reveals no mention of a Ridorana. Yet it seemed foolish to assume that a name could not change in the centuries since the tale was writ. So I thought to cross-reference texts on modern Ilsbardian history with our translations of the dry papers. And after an exhaustive re-examination of my ancestors' notes, I discovered that there was not a single entry on Ridorana. And while mention on the Venlard Sea was abundant, I found no reference whatsoever to any cataract or lighthouse within its waters. Ramsa's discovery prompted me to examine the mystery from a different perspective. What if there was no mystery at all? What if, at the same time of Dialita's rise, the chasm did not yet exist? There is more, but only a visit to the lighthouse will enable us to confirm our theories with any certainty. Ridorana Lighthouse lies far from civilization. It would be wise to provision for the trip here in Hingashi. An adventurer always comes prepared. Of course. Here we go again on adventure. Gonna get stuck in a queue for the rest of the night. Oh, we won't be doing this fight tonight. Hanging on the edge of the wire tonight. There it is. The Ridorana Lighthouse. Question mark? Something is very wrong here. Mayhap it is best if we split our fellowship into two parties. One to delve into the tower depths, and one to observe from afar. As acting expedition sub-leader, I appoint you captain of the first. You must use this spyglass to aid in your search for the missing lizard. Stupid kid. Make me do all dirty with goddamn. Damn it, brother. Where are you? You fucking make me do all hero light. I just wandered off muttering away to myself. Doing all the dirty work around here. Destination unknown. This location appears to offer an adequate view. Climb up and scan the area for any sign of Bagamnon. Bagamnon. Got him. Oh, why is my alerts not going off lately? Hey there, cup of goodness. How you doing? Thanks for the raid. Welcome, everybody. You found him? Let's see. He needs our help. Welcome to a very slow replay of the Ivalice raid. Did you find our cute aims are not nice? Prince Rasla, Princess Ashelia, I know you cannot forgive me. Nor should you. It is all my fault. I could not save you, could not save anyone. Anyone but myself. I am sorry. But Gamnon, wait! Traitors, have you no pride? You treat with the very men who laid waste to our homeland. You're mistaken, brother. There are no Imperials here. We've come to help. Beep boop boop. Man, I want some judge armor. I know what I see. My own kin sided with the enemy. How dare you steer my audience with the princess? The Duma. It has him, Kupo. It's showing him what he wants to see. Oh. Witch. Murderess. That's her from the second last dungeon of Realm Reborn. Forgetting her name. Oh shit. Hero dive. Oh no. How was your stream anyway? Cup of goodness. What were you playing? Gunfire? Gamnon! So this is the end. Recite the words, satisfy the covenant, relinquish thy soul unto me, and be granted that which thou desirest most in all the world. Sword in hand, a warrior, clutches stone to breast. Look at me, brother, look at me! And sword etched he his fading memories. Don't you die, not yet! In stone his tempered skill. We promised we'd go together when our time came. You can't leave us here. By sword attested, by stone revealed. That light. Where have I seen it before? Oh no. turned into a tyrant! Quick! Is that it? Whatever you are doing, you need to leave the lighthouse right away. Right away, do you hear me? But I want to go on an adventure. Banger, you self-destruct. Oh, God. Getting ever close to that long duty finder queue. I'm probably not going to get in tonight. I hope I do. I'd like to finish in one run, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen because the duty finder is just... This is way beyond then. The gambling soul is lost. Annihilation. Much as I wish it were otherwise, I fear Bagamnon is beyond saving. But we cannot suffer what is left of him to become a distraction. Father, is now not the time to abandon this quest? We are meddling with forces beyond... Enough, Alma. We adults are talking. While Jasix was searching for the lizard, I inspected an area of exposed foundation at the base of the lighthouse. And you are right, Father. The lighthouse is built squarely atop the ruins of what can only be the clockwork of City of Gog. The what-work city of who? According to the Zodiac Brave story, the clockwork city of Gog was a metallic metropolis wherein airships, automata, and other technological marvels of the age were first conceived. Little is said about its location, however, save that it was far away. While the Durai papers do not say a great deal more, they do mention that the land upon which the legendary city was built was severely limited, and an inconvenience that forced its inhabitants to build up rather than out. Which led me to ask myself, what if the reason land was limited was because the land in question was an island? That still would not explain the omission of the cataract. It's inconceivable that the authors would neglect to mention so prominent a landmark had it existed. And then I found it. A lone passage regarding Gaug's fall. While the particulars were missing, it appeared the city was abandoned after an explosion left half of it in ruin. I believe that this explosion may have undermined a portion of the seabed. It needed only have been a small area at first, one that could well have gone unnoticed during the Exodus. As time passed, however, the waters would have continued to wear away at the rocks, slowly widening the gap until we have what lies beneath us today. This would explain why there is no mention of Ridorana prior to the present era. Come, Father, will you not tell them the rest? Of the possibility that we Garleans are descended in part from the displaced citizens of Gaug? And this is part of the reason why it might have a role to play in Endwalker, because you obviously go to the Garlean homeland and it might lead into bits of this. But explain how the Empire was able to forge its armies of iron even before the discovery of an application of Allagan technology. And it may also explain why the legend of Ivalice has resonated with our people for centuries, despite the fact that the Lost Kingdom was, as far as we can tell, in quite a different corner of the world. An interesting, if somewhat ambitious theory. To return to your original claim, it is your belief that the Ridorana lighthouse stands atop what is left of that necklace. Where did you get it, girl? It was my mother's. Your mother's? It was my late wife's most cherished possession. Why do you ask? Agamemnon had a talisman he would wear beneath his jerkin. He refused to take it off, even when bathing. He said it was special. I only saw it a few times, but it looked exactly like the one your daughter wears. And what are you implying, lizard? My sister stole it? Or my late mother? Neither. I spoke of their similarity, that is all. Can you believe the nerve of this boy? Enough, Ramza. Our guests are merely concerned for the well-being of their kin. But what of our kin? What of them, Ramza? Do you imagine our kin to be better than theirs in some way? Or anyone else's for that matter? I apologize, Father. We have but one purpose, son. That is to prove the existence of Ivalice and clear our family's name. Do not allow anger or hate to lead you from that path. Now, we have a lost city to explore. Here we go. Use duty finder to sit in here for 2 hours and pray for a queue. I don't want it. Average wait time 5 minutes. Ha! Yeah, right. You funny. Try an hour or 2. Oh well, right, cool. We got the first part done. Hopefully, if I'm gonna get on sharp tomorrow, and hopefully I can get the next 2 done. And then that just leaves Crystal Tower before Shadowbringers, and with Shadowbringers I should just blast through it because I don't have to do Duty Finder. I can just use the trust system and play with the NPCs. But I'm gonna have to call that there. Unfortunately, Duty Finder ain't having any of it. If you're new to the channel, guys, as always, feel free to hit that follow button. It's always appreciated. Thanks again, Cup of Goodness, for the raid earlier. Much appreciated. Thank you again. And yeah, I shall be back again tomorrow. If you're new to the channel, like I said, feel free to that follow. It's always appreciated. If you scroll down, you find a link to my Twitter and YouTube channel. All VODs of Final 14 and past games can be found on my YouTube. So if you miss a stream, the VODs are there. Because I usually delete them off Twitch, because obviously DMC is a nightmare these days. So yeah, anyway, have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.